I'm dealing with food poisoning. I think it's food poisoning. I don't know what. It very well could be food poisoning. It's something. So you're getting low energy, Gary. We're going to go over this email, because I don't know if you guys know how good it is. Oh. Okay, and you'll hear the dogs barking and yapping and doing what they do. We're going to go to FinViz. I'll put you on mute. Sorry, we have food poisoning in the house. We think it's food poisoning. Either way, it sucks. Ooh, I got an ad. Daddy just got paid. Did I help you, Eric, with TrendSpider? I don't. The past 24 hours has been a blur. What's Poet? I was watching one of the live streams of the guy who's going to host the spaces that I'm on today at noon. What a shit show. What a total shit show. No, Scott. It's a half day. I should bring that up that it's a half day. Poet. That's the weekly. Looks like a shit show there. 4 hour looks like it's breaking out a little bit, so it looks like it might be rebounding. I don't know what Poet is. What's Poet? Dude, Poet Technology, semiconductor. A semiconductor that's losing money in this market. I mean, Eric, trade it. For me, target price $5.30. You're trading at $2.86. I don't know. I mean, why would you want to take a chance on that one versus just buying Nvidia? I mean, that's what I would be asking myself. Honestly, Eric, that's exactly what I would be asking myself is, why would I want to do that? Yeah. It's well, listen, if in my olden days of work, why would I go to work on a Wednesday when I could take Wednesday and Friday off and get like a 5-day weekend? VRO, I think AMC is a shit show. I don't think they're making money. I think Adam Aron will basically dilute you in every sense. There's no reason to get into AMC. I mean, trade it if you want, but AMC, nah. Scans. Apple, we got to scan up. AMC has shown Adam Aron every time there's a short squeeze on AMC, and that's all you're hoping for. It is a short squeeze, and I'm going to take QCLN out of my brokerage holdings because I don't want to hear from that one again. And I'm going to take Etsy out of my brokerage holdings, but I am going to put it in the watch list. And that is just because, you know what? I'll put it in the not owned. We'll put it there. Okay. VRT and DELL. I mean, DELL's just hovering. It's trading at 146, up 2% in pre-market. You know, and that's the thing, VRO. Trade it. I mean, you don't need me to tell you about AMC, the chart. If you know charts, you know, trade it. To me, I'm not putting my money. And here's the reason why I'm not putting my money in there, VRO, is you have the actual realistic possibility that he dilutes you and you buy at 522, it halts and then goes down to $2. Why do I want to trade a stock like that? When inversely, I can trade something like GCT, which also has the volatility that we've seen in something like that, but has the ability to go up to 40 and down to 25. So my downside is limited. You know, you're not going to get the upside on AMC because the only upside on AMC is short squeeze. And as you short squeeze, he's just going to dilute you. And then you're going to halt and then you're going to lose money. So VR, for me, even though I say it's a trade, I just, you know, it doesn't interest me. I mean, I want to make sure that my downside and my upside have realistic chances. Bitcoin and crypto. BITS, WGMI, ARKA, BTOP. So, and I don't mean to discourage you, but for me, trade it. I mean, if the chart looks good, the chart looks good. There's nothing I can do to say, hey, the chart looks awesome or good. I just think, you know, you're doing, for me, it would not be something that I would particularly look at doing. I'd rather trade GameStop, Chewy, you know, one of the other ones. Carnal the Magnificent, Haktua, EQT. That's just such a good stock. EQT. I mean, that's one that natural gas is just going to keep on going. Nice dividend, just kind of sideways. You just have to, in my mind, I think, again, I'm going to get on with these degenerate kids who are trading options. And in my mind, I just think that you want to be smart about it, and buy and hold has been the smart play. I know Johnny Carson. I had a black and white TV growing up, Scott. Hey-oh! That wasn't that Ed's thing. I love these guys who put their camera up with like 6 screens behind them. You're so important you have 6 screens. Morning, Chris. But VRO, you can make money trading AMC. It's not like you're not going to make money. But just be smart about it. If the chart, you know, there's a difference between, hey, the chart looks good and you know, I should trade this one. Because in my mind, HIBL. In my mind, I want something that I can't, if there's a chance I'm going to get stuck and it goes to 0, I risk very little. If there's a chance that I'm going to, you know, only lose 5 or 6%, I'd rather trade something like that. It's kind of like, you know, TQQQ. I still haven't bought TQQQ. But I like it. I mean, the setup in that one is good. Hold on. Okay, sorry. We're dealing with food poisoning here, like I said. I think it's food poisoning. Vanguard, or let's just do ETFs. VWO. I saw a good article yesterday about the two stock portfolio, and it was two Vanguard stuff. But VRO, you're the type that wants to come to this spaces that I have at noontime today. There are probably a ton of people trading AMC in there. BLDR. I probably, VRT. Okay. We've got the watch list taken out. Let's go to the Dow. Apple. NASDAQ. ASML, that's, I think that's one that you should get. AMAT, Applied Materials, KLAC, all of these. KHC, TMUS. T-Mobile's an interesting one. I think that showed up on a scan from this weekend, if I'm not right. Okay. Bye-bye. S&P. Hopefully the dogs don't go crazy. TQQ and X. God, you're killing it, Scott, on that one. SOXL has done really well. TQQQ I should have gotten into, but I didn't. And part of the reason was, again, I went over it yesterday. I'm so heavily invested. I'm still benefiting from the market, and I don't feel the need to rush into risky plays, even though it probably is just a small one. But let me see. I've got to go get more blood taken today. Oh, wow. IBIT is way down today. Bitcoin just got killed. Let's see. TrendSpider. Hurry, this offer is going to end. You've got one more day. I think it's still in a countdown. Yeah. You've got the Alpha Picks, July 4th, Independence Day. You've got that. You got Alpha Picks regular. Then we've got that one. I'm going to go over this email. So, morning, Tyler. This is the email you get from Seeking Alpha Premium every morning when you import your portfolio. It's really good. I mean, and what's great about it is this is all the news on your portfolio. So, and then you get analysis based on your portfolio. I like it. I mean, let me see. View entire message. Yeah, I don't need the entire message. Okay. We're going to open up ETF inflows, the top inflow leaders for June. Tesla's still on a run. Dell, Amazon, and Amperol. Bank of America focus list. Citi says the second half is going to be incredible with the spotlight on sectors that they think are good. Bank of America got an upgrade. Eli Lilly, did you buy the dip? Because it went under 800 yesterday. Allurion Rockets. This is the only thing I want to point out about this one. We're in a GLP market, but this Allure, it's a program for weight loss which features a swallowable gastric balloon and monitoring apps. That to me was the craziest freaking thing. Stocks with the most extreme upside and most active trading includes NVIDIA, and we'll go over morning, Steph. The spaces. You know, Scott, and it's funny because Jim Cramer had a great, he was going over things that people should be looking at and stuff. And he went over, and it was really good. And one of the things that stood out to me, and I don't think a lot of people know it, is just because your employer has a 401k doesn't mean you automatically contribute to that 401k. And part of that is, you know, again, you're here. So you're a stock trader, you have risk in your appetite, blah, blah, blah. The 401k, if your employer doesn't match, why are you paying the fees to the 401k to limit you to several different funds and to have that money locked up? Because remember, you can't touch that money unless you leave your job or some other type of event. You can't do it. So while there's reasons to be in a 401k, if they don't match and it charges fees, I just don't see the reason. And Jim Cramer was right. He goes, put it into an IRA. Just put it in an IRA. That's going to be your best bet. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Good advice. SOXL, you're doing great. Let's look at TQQQ. Oh, you're doing well in this one. Got you back in at 67. You're at 77. Let's see. We're going to draw that line there. Where does this one go to? 77, where you're at now. And that's crazy. $450 for an analysis of your 401k? I mean, what do you have, 5 funds that you have in your 401k? Hey, and kudos to them if they can get $450. Penny! Penny, come here. Come here, little girl. Yeah, that's the only. The matching is the only reason to get, for me, the matching is the only reason to get in there. There might be other benefits, like, for instance, you can take a loan against your 401k. Say you're younger and you're saving up, and your employer doesn't necessarily match, but you don't have the time or the discipline to actually invest in separate things, then, the 401k makes sense. But unless your employer matches, for me, there was never an incentive. And I tell you what, my Earthlink used to match, and I think it was the 3% up to 6% of your salary kind of thing. But they would match. I was there for almost 15 years. And for the last 10, I was asking for what's called interim distribution. And the reason I was asking for interim distribution was I saw my personal portfolios skyrocketing. And I saw my 401k, which had a large amount of money, just sit there. And I had both a Roth and a regular 401k. So the Roth 401k, I couldn't do anything other than funds. And the funds were just lagging my Apple, my Google, my Amazon, my Netflix. All of that portfolio was crazy. SMG. Let's look at SMG. And I'm dilly-dallying, but I'm going to get into this because we only have a half day today. This is Scott's Miracle Grow. I don't know that I'd buy it until you have some type of confirmation. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 where you've had a loss. And when you look at a weekly, I mean, that's a upper left to bottom right. When we pull it back to pre-COVID, that's 2018. Pre-COVID, this was a $119 stock. So something is fundamentally wrong here. And I don't know what it is, but something is fundamentally wrong. Whether it's competition, whether it's whatever, but if there's fundamentals that are wrong with this stock. So valuation's an A. Revision momentum's a C+. Momentum is tough. I mean, this is ranked number 1 out of 10, and it's that weak. And the quant rating is only 2.97, and that's based on revisions. 2 up, 8 down, 1 up, 7 down in the last 90 days. And we can go and look at Wall Street. Wall Street's price target is 77. That's a 22% upside. But look at what they've done. Every time this one's dropped, their price targets have dropped too. So it's just kind of in line. They're not making money. That's the biggest issue. Profitability, 23% margin, but the thing, I don't think they're making money, Steph. That I think there's something fundamentally wrong. With that chart, there's something fundamentally wrong, and I probably would just stay away from it. I mean, you could trade it if you want, but I think there's so many other AI and GLP-1 stuff on the market that I don't know. I mean, again, pick your poison, but fertilizer for me might not necessarily be the poison that I pick. Let's look at the weekly. Oh. Yeah, and you want to stay, I mean, with a stock like that, you want to stay away from that. No, Chris, if you leave the job and you're and you take the loan, you're responsible for the capital gains and penalties of early withdrawal. Yes. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Okay, let me read the comments. Yeah, that's the problem that Chris pointed out. You either have to pay the loan back, or you kind of have to do that early withdrawal. And I think it's a 10% penalty. So say you take $50,000. Then you got to pay $5,000 in penalties to taxes. And then you have to do the capital gains. And it's a mess. Okay. We're going to go to the 4 hour. Okay, I'm going to hit record. I'm still low energy. And Steph, I don't think the insider selling is the entire reason that SMG is going down. But, I mean, if you see a stock that's that far down, if you see a stock that is that far down, their income losing $347 million, and you see a ton of insider selling, it's just March, but there are big ones. They probably got out of their 10% ownership at 58 and 67, and they're trading at 63 now. I mean, it feels you ever walk into like a furniture, like a tile store, and there's a guy with an open collar and a gold chain and like a gold tooth with slick back hair, whose fly is open, and you feel uncomfortable? That's Scott's Miracle Grow to me. Oh, it's at noontime. I'll put it in the newsletter, but here it is. You can set your calendars and set your reminders. I'm going to be on there. The guy Ace the Kid. I was on his Twitch this morning, and yeah. Let's just say it might be interesting. I mean, it's going to be what it is. They might be. Everybody on Spaces are trading GME, Chewy. I mean, they're doing 0 day expiring options, 0 day expiring options. I mean, that's what they're doing. Okay, let me hit record. I'm going to do it. GitLab, GTLB, and then I'll start this. GitLab. This is a small cap. Algorithm got you in at 43. The RSI is up at 72. The MACD's crossed up. It's last time the MACD was up here, you had this enormous drop from 59 to 43. Your 50-day is still moving negative, but you do have confirmation over that 9-day. The volume seems to have picked up on this day where you have an 11% candle on the 26th. So let's see. No, I don't want that. What happened on the 26th? There's no news. So I don't know what happened on the 26th. But it's a strong buy in the quant. The valuation and the momentum are what you have to worry about. The valuation, the PE is 184 versus a 23 sector. That's 685 above. And the growth, 34% year over year. Momentum, C+, probably because of that huge drop in the near term. Yeah. Those near term 3 month and 6 month. That's hard to get over. But, I mean, it doesn't look horrible. I don't see anything on the 25th here that I see, per se, and that links up with the candle there. So, Kevin, I don't think it's horrible. I just, I don't know enough about the company to say, oh my God, this is a great investment. It's going, it could be, yeah. I mean, you know more than I do, Kevin. So it's not here. And here's what, and this is my grumpy old man coming out. If you know about the company and you think it's a good investment, nothing I say should change your mind. If you're not sure if it's a good company, and you want to know about the chart, I would suggest learning the chart stuff and find your way through it. And what I would suggest is paper trading kind of charts. Find a stock that you like Apple. I know Apple like the back of my freaking hand. I'm not touching Apple right now because that 220 is resistance level. Am I trimming it? No, because I think what we've seen with Amazon, with Palantir, with Tesla, is that the resistance has turned into support. So I think this one may fly way above 220, and I think we may be going to 250 on this one. The MACD significantly down. I mean, it's crossing up. We got an algorithm entry, even though the algorithm here got you in April 25th at 169. You're up at 220. And there's nothing that, was shocking about this one. I just think a lot of people feel safe in Apple. And they finally got into the AI stuff. I think there's talk about the iPhone upgrade. There's China, which is opening up for the iPhone and should be a good thing. And I think, again, if you want to trade AMC, go and trade AMC. This to me was hey, why didn't you load up on this? So, yeah, the algo on GitLab is okay. Let's see what the performance is. Because again, the algorithm, if the algorithm doesn't perform well, the algorithm makes you 13%. What do you get if you buy and hold? You lose 5%. So it pays to actually listen to the algorithm. Now, the algorithm only wins 37% of the time, but because of the volatility, your average win is 15%. So understand that past performance doesn't predict the future. And you could lose on this one because those average wins of 15%, this one like 18%, 35%, that's skewing that loss. But if you look at a long term on this one, it's upper left to bottom right. And you don't have a 200-day. So in my mind, is this one a trader? There's no way it would get an investment in my portfolio. At most, I would trade GitLab on a 5-minute strategy. And, the A+ setup here. We can run the 5-minute here to see if there's an entry. Yeah, it got you in at 51. You're at 51.78, but, got you in at 49. And you could have, sold out at 49.93 before that huge drop. Maybe the 65-minute works. Let's look at the 65-minute on GitLab. 21% versus 19% buy and hold. That's over 8 months. So again, 8 months, you make 19% buying and holding, but you make 21% if you trade. Now, this has how many positions? 85 positions over 8 months. It's about 10 per month. Do you want to watch that? Do you want to set up the alerts so that you can do this? You're trading a bunch of in and out. Got you in at 49 here. Your 50 days moving positive. That 200 days moving down. It just depends on what you want to do. But again, the 4-hour algorithm, I think on that one, I think it works. But I think that's just because you've got those high volatility stuff and it tries to protect you from the downside. So in something like that, Kevin, what I would probably do is I would have my stop losses even before that 4-hour algorithm. I would have a stop loss at 5%. And say, you know what, I'm going to risk 5% because the algorithm on average wins about 15%. And I'm probably just going to take 10%. When I get to 10%, I'll just probably take it. Yes, Patty. It depends on the trade. Again, the trade is what's going to define what alerts that I set. So for instance, let me think of something that I've done in the past. Shopify. Shopify was one that I wanted to. That's probably not a good example. I mean, I've added to Shopify. Snowflake maybe. So Snowflake's a good example because we look at this one. This one trades at 200. So what I have an alert on Snowflake is for 200. At 200, it's going to alert me that it got to 200. Because I don't know that I'm always going to remember to check this one. I don't have a buy because I already have a ton of buys. I think my average price purchase on this one is like 170, 160, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, yeah. PRO, I have no idea what you're talking about. A join button? On what? The spaces? It's not going on right now. It's at noontime today. If that's what you're talking about. Okay, let me hit record. We're going to go into this one. Yeah, Snowflake. I think software is back. I think software put it in the bottom, and I think it's starting to come back. I mean, overall, I think software is probably a good trade right now. Okay. let's go over this. I don't know. I don't even know what join button on YouTube is. Is it because I don't have a membership set up or something? I mean, that could be why. I try and monetize the newsletter and the affiliates. And that's it. YouTube, I don't have a big enough following. I mean, I know you guys are here live every morning and stuff, but what do I have? Like 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube? YouTube, what I found actually, in doing a little bit of analysis is that YouTube has cannibalized my Spotify stuff. So I find people listen on YouTube, but the ad revenue, what did I make? I think on Spotify, I made like $500 on advertising last month. And on YouTube, it was like $60 on advertising. Yeah. VRO, the reason I don't have a join button or membership on here, I don't want to fleece people. I'd rather give you guys, there's two things that I really want to do. Joining on YouTube doesn't do you guys any good because it's just giving me money for what I give away for free, and I'm happy to give it away for free. The second thing, the reason why I don't have join on the thing is I'd rather give you guys something that is of value. So Seeking Alpha, it's of value. You guys get benefit from it. I get a commission. You guys get benefit from it. TrendSpider, you guys get benefit from it. I get a commission from it. I'd rather do something. The newsletter, you get a benefit from it. I think Laurel is asking when it's time to buy snow. I don't see Laurel's thing on here. Snow, you can buy at any time. In my mind, I think you can buy any time on snow, and you add to it, and then when it pops to 200, you sell it at 200. The valuation on snow is absolutely crazy. And this is where, and VRO, just to get back to that, I don't like fleecing people. I can't sleep at night if I fleece people. Even starting that newsletter and charging for the newsletter, I was like, I cringe at times about that newsletter because I don't know that I'm providing people as much value as it is. Good morning, Laurel. And so that's why I don't have the join button. I don't have memberships. I'm not in this for the money. I do make this is the first year, full disclosure, I'll probably do a video here in the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow when the market's closed, about how much money I make off of this. And it's making me cringe, but I do think it's good for transparency because this year I'm making a decent living at this. It's not, it's nothing you could live on, but I do think it's a decent living. So, but I don't want to fleece people, and I don't want people to I've never, not once, had somebody complain about the dollar amount that was charged from a dollar amount from an affiliate, meaning the tools that we use, or Klonovic's leaving, or my newsletter. I've never had a complaint. When I get a complaint, I feel incredibly uncomfortable, so I just don't want that. So honestly, it's just more about not fleecing people. So here's Snowflake. And this is what I want to point out, Laurel, is the valuation. Look at the PE, 147 versus the sector. And this is the software sector of 23. That's what's crazy. Even the forward growth, the PEG, the forward is 8.67. That's 328% above. So even though their growth is incredible, it still needs to grow at that or better to hold the valuation that it has today. And the momentum sucks and the revisions suck. The momentum here in the long term, it's just horrible. It gets pops to 200. And you can see 2 up, 34 down on earnings per share, 35 up, 3 down on revenues. They're gonna make the revenues, but the earnings per share, it's not making money. It's an expensive business. And so when you look at the chart on this one, I've identified it, and it's done it twice now. I don't think it matters that, hey, it's a upper left to bottom right kind of trend here. You can add during when the algorithm tells you to add, but you're losing 53% versus losing 5% if you just buy and hold over 2 years. And if we look at the weekly, you can see this. See, we came down, popped to 200. That's one sale in August. Came down into January, and then it popped up here almost to 200 and started trimming. And then you came down here, and it popped over 200 to almost 250, and we came down. So in my mind, I think we get back to 200 at some point in time. I don't think it's crazy to say. But that's the trading range that I like. There's no strategy to it. There's no nothing. It is money that you can't, I don't want to take out. I don't need to put into anywhere else. It might not be the best allocation of money, but it's like, hey, I'm going to make profits off of it. So I'm okay with it. But that's what you have to do is, Chris probably has a better strategy than I do, but it is what it is. Morning, Daniel. Okay, let me hit record. Now I'm hitting record. Good morning. It is Hump Day Wednesday. I just went over why I don't have memberships on YouTube because I don't like fleecing people for money. If you want to hear that rant, what is it, like 20 minutes in? Maybe it's 45 minutes in on the live on YouTube. Where are we on the Qs? Just so everybody knows, today's a half day. It's a half day in the market. The market closes at 1 o'clock. What will I be doing? I will be on a Spaces with Wolf Financial. You can set it up. It's in the newsletter. If you go to my my Twitter, you'll be able to set it. So I like this. I'm waiting to hear. Honest to God, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. They haven't told me anything. I prepared some jokes. I prepared some talking lines. But these guys are degenerates. Who in the middle of the day at 12 o'clock is listening to an effing space? I have listened to these spaces. They are boring. I don't think that these guys have a ton of personality. They're talking about, I was listening to one guy today, Tesla, baby, Tesla, and he's talking, and there's nothing of value. He's just pumping up Tesla. So, they're probably making money. I don't know, but it is what it is. I'll be on there today. And yes, I'm grumpy. I have a bout with food poisoning. This is angry, get off my lawn, old guy Gary. So get ready, because today I got a problem with you people. Not really. But here's the Qs. We're just trading sideways, but we're continuing to go up. Today, we're at 486. Yesterday, we closed at 480, 487, 488. You're just trading sideways. TQQQ was the buy. But what I want to point out to you is in the paid newsletter, I provided some analysis at the beginning of May of, hey, don't get out in May. There's a big saying in the market, sell in May and go away. And part of that is agriculture from previous years, long time ago. Part of it is because New York is in the Hamptons vacationing. All of New York finance is in the Hamptons vacationing. And they just don't see a lot. Well, I pointed out that here in 2020, you didn't want that because you were up 27%. 2021, you didn't want that. You were up 15%. Now in 2022, you were down 11%. Probably made sense, but you didn't know it, and you could have made a lot of money trading in that huge peak up to August. And then in 2023, you didn't want it. You made 9%. So I said this year, do not get out. You don't. Even though the MACD is super, super high, still have some room to go, and I do think we have room to go. Now, I think we cover some of this where we saw, some pullbacks specifically in 2022 and 2023, where you can see 2023 specifically, we traded sideways like we're starting to do now, and then you went into August and September, and it was super weak, and we hit the October lows. Where are we going now? I don't know. Maybe that's what I bring up on the October the spaces this afternoon. Is that, hey, fools, you guys probably lost a lot of money last October. It was clear on the charts that it was nothing, something that was coming. And it's clear even on this QQQ, on this weekly chart. Look at how high that MACD is. The RSI is at 72. We're overbought. Do you want to allocate a ton of money? I don't. Now, I will say, TQQQ, I've made the mistake of not getting in July, even though it was 100%. You've had a nice run here in this month. Now, if you got in, say June, you got in and you said June 6th, ooh, the algorithm got me in. Well, now you're up nice 15%. A nice 15%. I mean, that's a great, great try. Meanwhile, you've traded sideways here. Let's remove this. Remove this segment because here in June 18th, you were at 77. Where are you today? You're trading at 77. In pre-market, let's see, it's at 77.07. You've traded here. Now, do you break out or do we use this as a resistance level? And I would say, hey, the MACD is going for another cross-up. I think that's bullish. The RSI is continuing to climb. It's at 67. That's bullish. We still have an ability to go up. So I don't want you to say, oh my God, I've got to get out of this market. But when you look at the weekly, we're a little bit stretched. So just be cautious. I'm sad that I didn't get in. You can see the high here in TQQ was 83, 86. So we're probably bumping up to 86. That's probably where you're going. But again, TQQQ, that was the play. Is it too late to get in? I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. I'm about 90 to 95% invested. I'm not rushing out. If you're 50% invested, get into TQQQ. Makes no sense that you're not in TQ. Get into Tesla, get into Apple, get into everything that's 52-week highs because for the long term, you'll be happy. But for the short term, I don't know. What's the number one stock that's trading right now? It's NVIDIA. NVIDIA holds the top Interactive Brokers most active list as AI star stocks to meander. So again, we're trading sideways. Here's the entire list. NVIDIA, Tesla, I will put this in the newsletter. Micron, Amazon, AMD, Apple, Nike, Rivian, SMCI. There's a ton in here. And this is Interactive Brokers. This is usually where traders are. Now, NVIDIA, we've talked about it before. Do you want to get into it? I said, hey, it's holding this 122. It's trading at 121. Do you want to get in? I think anytime you get between 115 and 122, you start adding to this position. That sideways move that you're seeing is pretty good. Now look at the MACD. We talked about this when the MACD was way up here. The stock was at 140 and the MACD was extended up towards the 6 level. It's come down. You're at the oscillator. The RSI is at 47. Where do I think it's going? I would say it's probably going up. Do I think you're coming back down to 77? If you do, load up because Meta, Amazon, and Google, they're all loading up on NVIDIA chips. Tesla is loading up on NVIDIA chips. It has at least some runway until next year. So I don't think that you're coming down to 77. I would start adding at this point, but you're seeing little button hook. Now this MACD is incredibly extended. It's at 13. The strike line's at 14. The actual MACD line's at 16 on the levels here on the MACD. The RSI is at 74. It's incredibly overbought, but do not think that this one can't get to 250. If we go over here and we look at the Wall Street price target on this one, the Wall Street price target is 132. That's 7% where you are today. That would be a pretty good, solid gain. 7% in this market, I'd take it because you can be at 7% tomorrow. And that's where I want you to be. Again, NVIDIA, big stock. You can go and look at that list from Interactive Brokers. Now, the stocks with the most extreme upside in Q2 with Piper Sandler, this is Qualcomm, Micron, AT&T, Arista, ANET, which we talk about all the time. Vistra, VST, that's a power company. GoDaddy, we brought that one up yesterday. That one has a big one. Gap, Sprouts Farmers Market, which is an alpha pick. Again, you can look at this entire list, go and look at the charts. I like this list. There were several names on there that I was interested in. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, this particular, I talk about that we're in an AI and GLP-1. This is a weight loss program. Allurion, ALUR, shot up 160% in afternoon trading yesterday. And it was because of this weight loss. And let me just explain the weight loss that they have. The weight loss is a swallowable gastric balloon and monitoring app. I have no idea how somebody is swallowing a balloon and feeling comfortable with that. I also don't know why people take GLP-1s, because you lose muscle mass and stuff. But this one had an enormous candle yesterday. You can see the morning candle, 10%. The afternoon candle, 5%. And the MACD's crossing up. Now, did the algorithm get you in? No. Algorithm hasn't gotten you in. I would not trade this one. I just thought that was funny. Could it go up? Absolutely. You can trade this if you want. It's just upper left, bottom right. I just don't think that it has the amount. But one that I do think, Eli Lilly. They won FDA approval for Alzheimer's drug. Eli Lilly is in the core portfolio. Eli Lilly is one you should have exposure to. Eli Lilly is one that I said anything under 900 you should buy. Well, what happened yesterday? Biden came out and said, Biden and Bernie Sanders, we don't want them charging $30,000 for this drug. The morning it went down to $878. Did you buy? Because remember, we talk about having those price points and making sure that you have a reminder and an alert in your system so that you can do it. You can set alerts in Seeking Alpha. You can go to Eli Lilly, and you can set an alert up here in the upper right. We're going to go over more about Seeking Alpha, but you can set this alert. You can say, what price do you want an alert? Well, 900. You get an email and a mobile alert. You can set an alert in TrendSpider, okay? TrendSpider will allow you to set an alert at a price target. It will allow you to set an alert when the MACD crosses up or down. It will allow you to set an alert on RSI. It will allow you to set alert on any indicator, moving averages, volume. Anything that you want to set an alert on, you can set an alert in TrendSpider. So there are ways to do it. And TrendSpider, it's on sale for the next day. Get it while you can. $49 a month, $54 a month. I would say if you're brand new, do the $82 a month. It's just a little bit more, but this comes with unlimited one-on-one training. And that's the way I would do it. Now, we talked about Alpha Picks. Alpha Picks, you can get Alpha Picks. Well, Seeking Alpha Premium. Let's talk about this one because it comes with a free 7-day trial. But those alerts are just part of the program. We're going to go over the email that you get, but it's free 7-day trial, and my link saves you 20%. Where do you get all these links? It's at Linktree, linktr.ee/dailystockpick. Now, I referenced this one. For the 4th of July, I think it's like the next day or so, you can get 30 days of Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks. When you buy Alpha Picks I save you $50 with my link. It's $449. Alpha Picks is a curated two stocks per month portfolio. It's based on the quant. It's a great portfolio. The performance is unmatched, 121% versus 43% for the S&P. So, but again, you want to set those alerts. Bank of America. We can talk about this one. Bank of America, the stock gets an upgrade. Now attractively priced. Seaport. The quant has Bank of America as a strong buy. The quant has Bank of America as a strong buy. I would argue your best bank is Citibank. This one, the valuation is a D, and it's because of the PE, the forward gap. They're just, the growth is probably what's, going to hurt this one. I would argue that Citibank is a better one, but Citi is a hold in the quant. But I would argue that Citibank, its book value it's trading at 64. The book value is like 90 something. So again, I think Citigroup is your best bet. I do hold Bank of America. I like that one. We can talk about Citi right here because Citi says the S&P has more upside in the second half of the year, and it highlights several sectors. So this article is a really good article. They put in the S&P year-end price targets. The bull case for the S&P year-end is 6,100. That's 11% upside. The bear case is 21% down. So they do have a bear case that's quite a bit down. You want to take a look at those bear cases because if we get some type of a catalyst that's down, then you might see towards those things. The overweight sectors, they're saying real estate, financials, and consumer discretionary. XLY, that is the one that I own with Tesla and Amazon is about 45% of the actual overall holdings. I like that one. They say market weight sectors, communications, industrials, technology, consumer staples, energy, and utilities. Underweight sectors, they say materials, forget about. They say healthcare, forget about. I think Eli Lilly has the best opportunity in healthcare. I don't think that the sector as a whole will do well. I agree with them. The overweight sectors, I'd argue real estate, probably not a good one. Financials, fantastic, and consumer discretionary, good. I would also argue that the market weight sectors of energy and information technology, I like both of those. I would have moved those over up to overweight sectors, but that's just me. Again, I'm a big cap tech investor. Now, Dell and Amazon, and for all in focus, Bank of America switches up their US 1 list. So this is a list that's just bullish. Dell and Amazon are the top ones. Dell is a hold in the quant. It's a hold in the quant. I would argue this one is a buy. The average price target is 157 from Wall Street. That's a 9.8% upside. I would argue this one's a buy. I have been telling you before in the chart, when we go and look at Dell, this is one that I want to add to the core portfolio. I just have to find something to take out from the core portfolio. Boeing was going to be taken out from the core portfolio, but the valuation of Boeing is just too good to take it out. Yes, they have problems. Yes, their management sucks. Yes, they have issues. But the valuation is just so low compared to the revenues and stuff. But Dell, look at what we've done with Dell. You had a huge MACD up here, and it came down. The RSI came down, and we're trading at the oscillator. I've said it before. Anything between 132 and 142, you can buy. You can buy at 147. You got a gap up here between 162 and 167. You're going to hit it. You're going to hit that gap. So, again, you have opportunities in this market. One big opportunity, and I said it yesterday, Tesla. Higher estimates from Wedbush as most undervalued AI play in the market. They're valuing the robots. They're valuing the full self-driving. They're valuing the AI. They're valuing the data from all of the cars that drive around with the vision stuff. They set a bull case of $400, and Wedbush boosted their actual price target to $300. Now, that's bigger than I would say. I would say we have to push through that 250, but you're up 2% again. You're up 2% again. I would argue that 250 is going to be your resistance. So between now and 250, do you want to add to it? I don't know. I mean, am I adding to it? Their earnings are coming out July 23rd. The RSI, you're incredibly overbought right now. I don't know that I'd necessarily add to it. I would probably wait until that support level comes up a little bit. The support level right now is 200. So between these two lines is where Tesla's really trading. And you just want to take a look at this one. I own this. Again, I own this in XLY, nothing else. Now, some ETFs. This list just came out. The top 10 ETFs inflows. So SPLG was number 10. VEA, which is Vanguard Developed Markets, that's number 8. You can go up. The number 1, iShares S&P ETF, IVV. That was up $13 billion. Year to date, you can see the returns SPLG 14%, VEA 3%, VTI 13%. You can read this article. This is important to look at. Because if these inflows, you want to look at outflows and inflows for ETFs, because the inflows identify that people think that has an opportunity to grow. What's the difference between IVV, which is the S&P 500, and IVW? It's that IVW is the growth, but that's number 4. It looks like iShares is significantly getting inflows from number 7 all the way up to number 1. It's all iShares. It's all iShares. So keep an eye on that. That's an interesting one. Now, I want to go over another benefit from Seeking Alpha Premium, and it's this email. And what I want to point out is all the articles that I got today weren't from going to the homepage of Seeking Alpha. I didn't go to the homepage today. I wanted to look at our actual Nancy Pelosi identifies that she bought NVIDIA and Broadcom. Better get in on those. Pre-market digest. This is what I like. So I get this email every day on the core portfolio. Okay, I've got like 3 other portfolios. You get 1 email per portfolio. And it rates my portfolio health check. Scott just said they charge him at his ETF thing $450 for an analysis. This is, what, $180 a year, and you get so much more than just an analysis. But this is every day they analyze it and they give you a score. Now, I've always been in this green one with the core portfolio. We have 27 that are hold stocks, 7 that are buy, 4 that are strong buys, none that are sells or strong sells. That's the value of the core portfolio. Yesterday's performer, Tesla, SMCI, and Bank of America. Top winners, top losers were NVIDIA, Lilly, and Oxy. Those are ones that you want to buy. When you see these losers, you want to take a look at the chart and say, ooh, do I want to buy this one? Now, I said I didn't go to the front page. And the reason was there wasn't a whole hell of a lot on the front page of Seeking Alpha today that I liked. That I said, what should I talk about with my audience? I didn't like it. So I used this breaking news. This is all the news about everything in the core portfolio. Then what do you get? You get analysis from the core portfolio. This guy does advanced Alzheimer's solutions with consuming. I don't know anything about this drug. This dude does. So he looks at it in the analysis. Again, Seeking Alpha Premium is a value. You get 20% off and a free 7-day trial when you use my link. I love this email. Again, I could do the whole show just based on this email. And that's the value that you have. So I just want to bring that up. Again, a couple of other benefits. There's other benefits to Seeking Alpha Premium, but that's just one. Now let's take a look. Peter wants me to look at JP Morgan. So JP Morgan recently hit all-time highs. I'm not a fan of JP Morgan. And the reason I'm not a fan of, I think Jamie Dimon knew all about Epstein. I think they funded Epstein. I think they some of these bankers also visited Epstein Island. I'm just not a fan. But it's the best in breed. It's the best bank out there. And you're continually setting new highs at this point. Now, do I think it could go higher? Yes. Jamie Dimon earlier this year said, we're not buying back our stock. Why should we buy it back at 2 times book value? And that's what you want to look at with JP Morgan. JP Morgan here, you go to FinViz and you go down. What's their book value? 106. They're trading at 208. The price target from Wall Street is 213, so you still have some upside. But I would argue that this is probably topping out. Now, they're going to come out with earnings. I think 13th or something like that. JP Morgan comes out with earnings. Let's see. 8th. July 8th. So next week. They're coming out with earnings. Things will probably be very rosy. Super rosy. I don't like JP Morgan for, first off, the Epstein stuff, but that book value and him saying that they're not buying back the stock, that's what worries me. Now, when we go and we look at Citibank, you're trading at $64, okay? The book value of Citi is $99, okay? The price target is $69, so you still have upside both on the price target and on the book value. Bank of America, we can look at this one. They're trading at $40. Book value is $33, so it's not as extended as JP Morgan. Target price from the Wall Street is $41. You can look at Wells Fargo. Again, when you want to look at banks, this is what you want to look at. The book value of Wells Fargo, 46. You're trading at 60. It's a little bit extended. Your target price, 63. So that's what you want to look at. And again, if you want, just buy XLF. If you want all of these banks, just buy XLF. I think that's a good one. I think that's a great ETF. Hold on one second. Petty, stop it. I love her, but man. Sholin from Spotify. Zscaler, how high do you think it will go? I will post in the newsletter the Austin Powers with his pinky, $1 million. Because I don't know how high it'll go. I mean, how high will it go? Your guess is, honest to God, there is nobody that can tell you how high this one will go. Showing. And if they tell you that, they're completely wrong. They're just guessing. Absolutely just guessing. There's nobody that can tell you where a stock's going to go. This one is just as likely to go to 150 in my mind as it is to go to 250. So right now you have a gap up here all the way up to 240. You have the positive moving 50-day. You have a negative moving 200-day. You're about to get that golden cross. The golden cross is the 50-day over the 200-day. So when you cross up on it, that's a golden cross. When you cross down on the 50-day, like we can go back here, this is what's called a death cross on March 25th. What did it do? It continued down. This is considered a golden cross if we get there. And if it gets there, I think you cover that 250 gap. Now, I will tell you, Zscaler is not my favorite cybersecurity play. My favorites are Palo Alto Networks, which is PAN-W, which is in the core portfolio, and CrowdStrike. So those are my two favorites. But Zscaler, this one's strong buy in the quant. The only issue is the valuation, but the growth is an A. And the valuation is an issue because it's got a high PE. But their growth, the PEG, which takes PE and growth, that's only 1.66. So I don't think that this one's a horrible play. When you look at the Wall Street analysts, they have a $229 price target. That's 16% upside. And you can see they've just brought it down. So maybe this one comes up, maybe they bring it down. But back here, you were at a $381 price target in December of 2021. So which one do you want? It's up to you. PAN-W is a great one in my mind. Yes, it's a hold. If we go to Wall Street, we can look at this one. Average Wall Street price target, 343. That's only 1% up. But they're a bit different businesses. The valuation, again, this one has gone for a run. This one was one where people were asking me, hey, should I get it under 300? Absolutely, you buy this one under 300. Another one, CrowdStrike. This one's at 384. There were people asking me, should I buy this under 300? Absolutely, you buy this under 300. I just bought and held it. I continue to add to this one. It's a strong buy from Wall Street. It's a hold in the quant. Wall Street has this one as a $402 price target. That's a 4.57% upside. Now, the only issue is the valuation. When you look at the PEG, it's not as good as Zscaler. But I would argue Zscaler has a bit, again, these companies are a little bit different. There's little differences in the actual product of this company. So, Shoan, if you're interested, I would do a little bit more research into the differences between those companies. Full disclosure, I don't know the differences. I invest in cybersecurity because I think any company can't do without it. I also like the fact that Palo Alto Networks is trying out a new pricing strategy where they're going after the big players. And I like CrowdStrike because CrowdStrike uses, I believe it's CrowdStrike, uses a cloud-based cybersecurity. So when one of them gets hit, then it goes out to the entire network and it protects the entire network. So that's what I like. But I will put the $1 million in the newsletter for you. Now, scans. We had Apple. I say this a lot. And again, Apple, how high does it go? To Shohan's question. I don't know. I mean, it's bumping up against that 220. Did I trim down here? Hell no, I didn't trim. I didn't think that this was, I said 220 was going to be the resistance level. It is absolutely a resistance. It's trading at 220 right now. But look, the MACD just crossed up again. The RSI just started raising again. You're at 65. The last time we were at 220, the MACD, or I'm sorry, the RSI was at 82, and the MACD was just about here, but it was crossing up. Now we didn't get the super bump up, but maybe this is the next leg up to 250. Because when you look at Seeking Alpha, we can look at the Wall Street price target on this one. Honest to God, I get nervous. But am I trimming this? No. The valuation makes no sense. Average price target is $211. That is a 3.974% downside. That's a downside, okay? This one's just getting some love. Now, do I think that they're wrong on their valuation? I don't think so. But this one is one of the safest plays to play, and I continue to like it. Am I adding to it? Absolutely not. VRT, I got an alert yesterday. I added to this one at $93, I think. It is trading at $88. Let's see. We are at $89. I continue to think that $90 and that $109 is a pretty good trading range right here. And I think you're trading sideways. Now, do I trust it? 50 days moving down. I like this one. Don't love it. But again, I got two buys, so I added to this one, VRT. DELL, I've said it before, and we went over this one earlier. This one has a cross up here. And so you get another buy at this one. The MACD is just kind of floundering around here, but that 140, you're trading at 145. It's come down in 5 minutes during the time, but I like that one. POWL. This is an electrical service provider. I found this one. You want to know how I found this one? Alpha Picks. It was this. It's one of the Alpha Picks. And POWL, they added it way before. This is one of their huge winners. Now it's down here at 145. Do you want to add it to 145? Look at how low that MACD is. Okay? Look at how low this RSI is at 39. Now, we can talk about this double top right here at 200. Are you buying at 145 for 200? I think absolutely. Again, you're looking at this one at 150, providing a little bit of support here. Is it perfect support? No. 130 might be the better support. But look at these Bollinger Bands cinching up. Now, the MACD still extremely high. The RSI at 51. But POWL, again, I said it was an alpha pick. That's where I learned about this one. I don't know anything about it other than it's an alpha pick. The stock is still a strong buy. The average price target from Wall Street, 145. But the quant says it's still a strong buy. The only issue is valuation. But I would argue that peg, the peg trailing, it's only at 0.6. When you go forward, it's at 1.43, which is still 12% below the sector. So is it stretched? I don't think so. This is an industrial in electric components and supplies. The number one, American Superconductor. I mean, maybe this one's a better buy. This one's had quite a little run up as well. Wall Street says this one's a strong buy with the price target at 27. That's an 11% upside. So again, you want to use the tools that you have to be able to find these. Well, all of the semiconductor builders, ASML, AMAT, KLAC, they all got cross-ups as well. But American Superconductor, what I would tell you is take a look at this and then take a look at the market cap, 891 versus 1.74 billion. I'd rather be on that billion side, but is this market cap a little bit different? Let's go and look at this one, okay? AMSC. Let's look at this and let's chart this against POW. And I didn't plan this out, so I don't know what's going to happen, but let's look at this. POWL. We'll put that one in. We're going to get rid of the S&P because that's going to show huge, like just one behind. Okay, AMSC is up 279%. Let's go year to date. That's probably better. Year to date, Powell's up 64%. AMSC is up 116%. So, and they've crossed over here. They crossed over. Powell was way up, and then it crossed over. And AMSC is now the better. Maybe Powell catches up to this. Could be. I mean, again, you look at the valuation, it could be. So I think this one's good. Again, you want to take a look at it. We did get some leveraged ETFs. We got a ETF VWO. All of this is in the Daily Stock Pick newsletter. So all of this is in the newsletter. The newsletter is 100% free. I don't know why you don't sign up for it. During the week, it's 100% free. You get everything that I just went over here in the newsletter. So go and sign up, dailystockpick.substack.com. You can see it right here. And at the end, what I post are these scans. So the entire list of scans are stocks that are bullish. Choose whichever one you want. These are ones that are either on my watch list, they're in an index, or they're, Bitcoin and crypto, leveraged ETFs. You should trade. You shouldn't invest in those. The scans, that's what you want to look at. Again, everything is posted there. So we are closed tomorrow. The market closes at 1 o'clock today. Be sure that you are, taking advantage of these sales. These sales go away, so don't wait on this. TrendSpider in particular, you want to take advantage of this sale. It's the best sale of the year. I'm telling you, I don't know for sure, but if it was only $50 a month to me to get TrendSpider, I can't trade without this tool. Honest to God, I just can't trade without. And I got questioned, why don't you have memberships on your YouTube? Well, part of the reason I don't have memberships on YouTube, I don't want to, fleece people. And so I've never had one complaint from anybody who signed up for TrendSpider. Everybody loves TrendSpider that signed up for it through me. And that's quite a bit. I mean, they're quite a bit. We're talking, a lot per week that sign up. And again, when I go into my stuff about how much I make on this podcast, you'll kind of find out. It's a little bit shocking. But yeah, I guess I'm in the top 10% of podcasts because I actually make money at podcasting. I don't know. But again, TrendSpider, you get my 4 hour. What do? You go and sign up at the link tree right here. You sign up, you get to this page, and then you sign up and you send me, here's my email address right here in the upper right. You send me an email that says, hey, Gary, I just signed up for TrendSpider. Here is my billing confirmation because I need the email address that you signed up with. So here's my billing confirmation with the email address that I signed up with. And once you send that, I send you back a nice little paper, PDF, that has all of the things to import. It has the 4-hour algorithm, it has the 65-minute, it has all my watch lists and all my scanners. You can do everything that I do in this podcast with TrendSpider. Now, the other one that I would urge you to get is Seeking Alpha Premium. And that's the one that, again, you can use these two tools in congruence with each other. And the third one that I added, and I use it, like I said, POWL, I would have never had an idea about, is Alpha Picks. And this is the only reason I promote them is because of the return of the portfolio. I am not a big fan of, hey, here's a stock to buy, and here's when you want to sell it. They do tell you when to sell these stocks. They tell you when they trim them in their portfolio. I'm not a super fan of that because I'd rather have you do your own work. But understand, if you want this, then I think it's a good deal. Again, for a limited time, you get 30 days of Seeking Alpha Premium when you sign up for Alpha Picks. But the two tools that I really think you should get are TrendSpider and Seeking Alpha Premium. Again, 12 p.m. today, I'll be on Spaces on Twitter, so join me. Okay, take care. See you. What are your opinion on Paramount Global now that the merger talks with Warner Brothers? I think Paramount, in my mind, and I've said this before, when Buffett got out of Paramount and kind of threw in the towel, it's kind of where I was. You knew she's going to sell at some point. Do I think that the deal's going to go through? I think there's going to be other stuff that comes up. There's better stuff in this market to trade it. You can trade Paramount. Algorithm got you in at $10. You'd be sitting nicely up there about 10% if you got in at $10.24. If you watch Paramount, you know it's a shitty product. Am I paying for it? No. I share password with a friend. He gave me his username and password, so I watch it every now and then. It's a shitty product. There's nothing of value that I would pay for on Paramount. So, Andres, that's what my take on Paramount. There's value on Netflix. Netflix is one I will never disconnect. Netflix is such a great service. You can find anything that you want on Netflix. You're bored? Turn on Netflix. Turn on Seinfeld. I go to sleep with Seinfeld on every night. And you still have upside to that $700. Warner Brothers? It's crap. I like the product of Warner Brothers. I just think they're not making money. And I don't know how they make money. So that's where, Paramount doesn't make money. They're getting a ton of buy. But, again, you have to figure out how you're going to make money. And Netflix is the only one that's profitable. So that's my thought on that. Hey, Rollins. Oh, you're welcome. Morning, Mike. Morning, Moneza. Yeah, the value on this thing. Why is SMCI going down? I don't know. I think it's just they don't have pricing power anymore with HPQ, and they're just too small of a company to compete with DELL and HPQ. Because DELL is up 0.18. Let me check my portfolio. I'll check it and then I'm going because I got to prepare for this. I'm low energy. I've got a fever. Yeah, I'm up 0.17. And the market is up 0.84. But that's probably Apple. Let's look at it. Is Apple down? Apple's up 0.34. Why am I only up 0.17? Hold on. All positions. Let's see. AMD's down again. I don't see anything way down. Wow, VRT is up 3%. There's nothing on my stock portfolio that's way down. Marathon is down, but that literally, I can tell you, Mara, $2,000. It's not much at all. IBIT is down 2%. I think all Bitcoin's getting hurt. IBIT, I'm down. That's a $3,000 position in this account. It's not much. I think I have more in my Webull account. GCT is up 1.67%. Google's down. Why do I still own DocuSign? I got to get out of that one. CRM, I'm up 17% on CRM. Costco is down. There's nothing that's really down. I don't know why I'm underperforming the market, but I am, especially with Apple being up 0.37. I mean, I'm up 0.19, but market's up 0.16. The TV's a must. Moneza, MicroStrategy is going down because all of Bitcoin's going down. And MicroStrategy is one. It's a triple levered ETF on Bitcoin. I mean, that's all this is. And so algorithm got you out with the 3% loss there. This one, you want to listen to the algorithm. I mean, Moneza, if you've got this 4-hour algorithm, this is what you want to listen to, because this 4-hour algorithm makes you 939% over 24 months, 22 positions. So it's less than once a month, and it makes you 939% in this name. That's how good this one is. You win 50% of the time, so it's a 50-50 spot. You're not in it right now. And MicroStrategy, it doesn't have you in. I have an alert, honest to God, behind my head right now. There's a MicroStrategy buy alert on the 4-hour algorithm because I will trade this one. Now you can see the volume's coming down. So Bitcoin may have hit a top. I bought iBit yesterday or 2 days ago. MicroStrategy, I'm just waiting for the entry on MicroStrategy. You can see we're turning around a little bit. That MACD is super, super high. The RSI at 52 in no man's land. So, Moneza, I think you're fine. I mean, MicroStrategy is just one that it's a triple levered ETF on Bitcoin. That's it. Okay. I'm going. I got to put the newsletter and stuff together. I will talk to you guys Thursday. If you don't have the alerts on YouTube, or you do, or you want, I think I'm going to do the money episode, how much I make as a podcaster, tomorrow. I got to figure out the format. I'm going to do it slide wise. So it's just going to be slides. And I don't think it's going to be but if you're interested in it, I think everybody might be interested in it, but it's not trading wise. I do make a good amount of money. I mean, let's see, so far this year, low 5 figures. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys Friday. I'll see you. Market closed on Thursday. Keep thinking today's Thursday. I got a fever.